What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the Midnight Alpha. So we ended up getting into the Midnight Alpha yesterday, so you can expect a bunch more Midnight Alpha coverage on this channel. And the one thing I want to talk about today is professions. This is something that I have not heard anybody ask Blizzard about in the interviews they gave. I tried to watch a bunch of interviews yesterday before the alpha came out, and I also saw the deep dive, the Q&A and everything else. And for professions, I can see barely any information at all. So I'm really happy we got into the alpha. I'm a gold maker. I'm going to be testing out professions quite a lot. Now yesterday we did not have a lot of time on the alpha, plus it kept going down all the time, but I was able to test a thing or two. One of those was player housing. More information coming on that very soon, but we do have a bunch of information about player housing, the materials required, and how to make gold with that as well. Alternatively, I do have a post in my Warwick Goldmaking guide where you can talk, see more about player housing materials as well, and Midnight Gold Guide coming up very soon, at least for pre-purchase. Either way, let's talk about professions and the couple of things we can find for professions in the Midnight Alpha. Now, the first big change for professions, well, the only really big change we have so far is the fact that Artisan Security Shuffling might just be literally dead. So this right here is a picture of me that I got, well, not of me, but of me playing the game yesterday, and I've edited this to like show you guys the differences. Here you can see me looking at the Quartermaster for Artisan Security, or something called Artisan's Moxie in Midnight. Now, usually we have Artisan Security in the Warwick, which is the same thing for every single profession. This time around, it is now divided into one different type per profession. So, just imagine that Moxie is the same as Security right now, because that's what this is. It's Artisan Moxie instead of Artisan Security, but we have Artisan's Tailor's Moxie and Artisan's Jewel Crafter's Moxie. Basically, every single profession will have their own Moxie attached to their professions, which means shuffling is now dead. You will no longer have to use herbalism plus mining to farm up Artisan's Acuity, and then having enchanting as well to farm Acuity, and then get your tools. The Moxie is attached to the profession you have. So once again, Artisan Security Shuffling is basically dead in Midnight, but there will be a couple of ways to like min-max this as well, even if you, well, can't use the Acuity for other professions, there will still be a couple of ways to min-max. But for now, there's a lot less shuffling, and this makes professions way easier to get into, but also it kind of removes a min-maxing aspect, which can be sad for some people, but I think in general this is a major W for professions by making them more easy to understand and easier to get into. Other than that, for professions themselves, you will once again find kind of a profession plaza in the new capital city in Midnight, and you will find a bunch of trainers located easily together, so you can find them all easily in one place. Now, for talents, or knowledge points in this case, they will be very similar to what they were like in the Warwick. So when you pick up tailoring in Midnight, you will notice the talent trees are roughly the same, at least to like a certain degree. They are somewhat the same as they were in the Warwick. You will have one talent based on making specialty cloth, you will have one based on crafting armor types, you will have one to find more cloth in the open world as well, and I will do way more deep dives about professions, by the way, when like I'm going to cover one profession at a time. So we have a tailoring video, alchemy video, blacksmithing video, you name it. I will say for now on the alpha, the professions are kind of bare bones, and it's not really meant to be interacted with, if that makes sense. I will do what I can to go out and farm materials to try the crafting professions as well, but for now it seems like many of the mobs you're killing, by the way, don't even drop stuff. So you can barely find just about anything for professions at the moment, and to be fair, I don't think professions is the main testing point for Alpha Wave 1. We only have access for level 80 to level 83, right? So professions is not what you're supposed to be testing right now, but I personally just want to get an early look on professions, because once again, Legion Remix is coming out in a few days, and I want to see which professions I should pair on what characters to find out what race I want to play. For example, if enchanting is going to be good in Midnight, I want to be a blood elf for the enchanting passive skill bonus. It's not like it matters that much, but when it comes to gold making, every single point of min-maxing really helps and generates more profit, so having those skill points really does matter, as the Warburton kind of proved. If you had those skill points, you're gonna start saving more concentration per craft, and start making, let's just say, a couple thousand gold more every single day, and sometimes it was the breach point you needed to craft a new rank. So once again, having the right races for the right passives or right racial traits for professions can actually make a difference, which is why I want to test professions as early as I can. But for the knowledge points, they will be very similar to what you were used to in the Warburton, and we will dive more into every single profession later in the alpha, or even like in the next couple of days, depending on how much we can actually test in the current version of the alpha build. Now, while we're talking about professions, we still have the same tools as we had back in the Warburton as well, but obviously we have the enhanced tools this time, so basically you can probably enter with the Warburton's tools, but you want to upgrade to Midnight tools as early as possible. Think about the way we went from Dragonflight to the Warburton. You could use Dragonflight tools in the Warburton, but simply swapping to a grey tool, a green tool I mean, in the Warburton was an upgrade. Even if you had epic tools from the Dragonflight, getting green tools in the Warburton was an upgrade, and the same thing goes here as well. Getting a Midnight tool as soon as you can will be an upgrade for you very likely, especially with the stat squish coming in as well, giving you less stats for those items. So get that tool as early as you can, and some of those tools you will need the Moxie to buy as well, for example the enchanting tools, so get as much Moxie as you can as early as you can. Now, while we're talking about professions, we also have to tie this into player housing, the major new feature coming out before midnight. It's coming out December 2nd. Over here we have a bunch of materials required for player housing items and making furniture and decorative items, and you can start farming these right now. It will also give you a great way to farm gold later in the expansion. Many of these player housing materials will be found in old expansions, so you can go back and farm vanilla content, Cataclysm content, Mist of Pandaria content, Warlords content, you name it, and make a gold by doing old expansion gold farms, which you can combine with, for example, transmogrification farming as well. So you can do transmog farming and the player housing material farming at the same time. It will also be worth mentioning here, we're probably getting, even though I haven't found anything yet, we're probably getting some new recipes for player housing, decorative items and furniture coming in the midnight expansion, so there might be a huge rush for materials required and also those crafted items required in midnight as well, and those items will be craftable by professions. Some recipes might be bound on accounts, some might be account bound, some might even be found in the world itself from treasures or rares, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help you find that information before midnight comes out. Once again, you can probably expect quite a few midnight alpha videos, and I'm going to try not to make too many of them because I would rather have them be as informative as I can instead of spamming every single day. Either way, let me know what you want me to cover in the midnight alpha in this video, and I'm also live on Kick every single day streaming my alpha testing, so follow me on Kick if you haven't yet. The link will be down below in the video description and also the pinned comment, so come by on Kick, say hello, and watch me play the alpha and test anything you want. Either way, that's about it for now, so if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and once again, let me know what you want me to test in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.